Welp, guys, today is the last time for something very specific. Today is the last time I stall intentionally for something like this. Today is the last time for this game that I have to type in this login information. Today is the last time I have genuine hope for this company we know as Hoyoverse, besides for how they run HI3, because they still treat that like the favorite child. But it's time to take one last trip through this now god-awful game that was once good. It's like, I reacted to the live stream. Well, not by myself, but I really woke up for this shit. I woke up early, hopped in a call with a bunch of content creators. It was me, JX Keys, Axe, Moose, Waveman, and Fleur. We all watched it together. We all discussed it, got our initial discussions, our initial gripes. We're just like, I'm posting this later than a lot of CCs because I wanted some time to think on it. Not only did I need some time to think on it, I had other stuff to do. Like, I got more important stuff I have to worry about in life. Like, making sure I keep this roof over my head. So it's like, I'm gonna talk while I do dailies one last time. I'm really over traumatizing this. I'm really over traumatizing this and talking in this whole talk. I'll just keep it a buck. There, even before any leak of the global passive for casters came out, it was like I was already starting to have a falling off with this game. Like, I just wasn't playing much during 2.5 because I was trying to I wasn't really in the mood to play gachas all that much, for one. For two, once we get into 2.6, I start hearing about how much of a yap fest Rapid Quest was. And that kind of kept me from really playing that. Two, barely touched. I don't even remember if I touched the game or not. Probably I did. Like, maybe twice. 2.7, same thing with Sunday. Well, not as bad, but still bad. And he joins the Express and dodges a sentence. And that, I'm like, what could they possibly be on? 3.0 was initially going to be, was truly my make or break, because if 3.2, if 3.0 was not good, or just not redeeming enough to fix a lot of the problems that we currently face in this game, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna quit. And then look what we got. That was, for some people, it took 8 to 12 hours to finish that story quest. It's like, I thought I was gonna pick a couple of days to schedule out to just like slowly but surely get through it. I did like 3 hours of it, and it's like I low-key saw it. I was like, no, I just was not feeling it. And then it was like, I was getting right to that point where I was about to quit, and then I heard this stuff about the global pass because everybody heard about it. It just blew up considerably. So, like psychotically so. To the point where it's like I had to pay attention to it. I didn't make a video on it because realistically, that's just what I want to do at the channel. I don't want to talk about stuff that isn't official, because what's the point of wasting time on something that's not confirmed? Because they could change it at the apps. They could change it whenever they want as long as it's before the live stream. But I kept hearing news from other people that it just wasn't going away. They put it in the, it wasn't V1, they kept it in V2, and then they kept it in V3, and as V4 was coming up, they were starting to put achievements in for it. And then here we are, to where it is truly officially in the game now that they have marketed it on the live stream. And if they take it away, then that's grounds for someone to charge them legally for false advertisement. And it's like, yeah, we can't let them get away with some dumb shit like this. I keep it a buck. Like dumb shit like giving like unique passives through a limited character. No, not through some sort of like system that you gotta level up in game that just generally boosts the stats across your entire account. Not something like a VIP game, to where the VIP game, like basically a game where you know damn well that you're going to spend money and keep spending money to be at the top of the leaderboard. It's just built into the system that you're going to spend money. Even then, those games, you'll usually find it through something just like cosmetics. And not only that, also things you level up by just playing the game to boost your stats. But nope, they decided to do it through a character with a revive. And let's see who has revives in this game. Bailu has a base revive in her kit. Where is it again? Yeah. When Bailu's teammate receives a killing blow, they will not be knocked down. Immediately heals the ally for a certain amount of HP, plus a certain percentage of her HP, plus a base amount of HP, one time per battle in which she has to be in the team for. And at E6, she gets another revive. Next character that has a revive. That was also a day 1. If I can just make these glasses use proper eyesight. If I can make these glasses use proper eyesight. Natasha. Or was it? I forgot who the frick it was. Because if it's not Natasha, then I'm tripping, and I forgot who else had one. Okay, not you. Who the frick was it then? Okay, yeah, as far as I remember, literally just Bailu. And then they introduced it to Fushuen with E2. Okay, which has requirements. First, her field has to be up. And then in the one specific instance where one or even up to the entire team dies, they will not be killed. She will revive that one or even the entire team with 70% of their max HP one time per battle. So like, if you don't have the field up, which that would be a bit of a skill issue, then you wouldn't be able to revive. If you did have it up, then you can just proc it. And then you need that just for the battle. But casters, on the other hand, you don't even have to have a team to revive. It's like if the character dies on the team, you have a set amount of time to heal them. And that will basically trigger the full revive. And she doesn't have to even be on the team for it. That just sets up a bad precedent, because if people let them get away with that, they're gonna start introducing stuff like just overall damage boosting, talent leveling in these kits, and it's going to be very detrimental. Now we just, you know what, let me just burn my energy here. There's a lot of stuff that was going on within that live stream that just made no sense. You know what? I'm actually not even in the mood to use my energy. Like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm muting this game. I'm muting this game. I gotta lock in. Let's go over Hoyo Lab and everything they decided to put in here to further explain everything they put in here. So I already went over the caster's passive. That is not a good thing. The next horrible thing that they've done comes with the banners. Well, actually, even before that, they leaked another boss battle and how it's going to work, which basically kills the spoiler aspect of it. And then next up, we have banners. Phase 1 is Casterus, and then they run a 3-piece rerun. Fugue, Jiaosho, and Acheron. And Fugue was not out that long ago. That was 2 points. That was 2 points. Oh my, that was not that long ago. They pulled a Robin with her already. And Jiaosho and Acheron. Like a full Nihility lineup. We got the break team, and then we got Jiaosho again for people that don't have Acheron, and Acheron for people who don't have the Lycone for some odd reason. All along with the anniversary in it. 4 stars are fine. But phase 2 Anaxa and then Ratio. Like, the difference is kind of crazy how much they're trying to get out on this first portion. And then it's like, oh, we'll just slap Ratio in. It's like, he hasn't had a rerun yet. Well, yeah, he hasn't had a rerun yet. And he dropped at 1.6, so this is the one time in the game where he's truly not a free unit. But it's like, they just threw whatever here because they threw whatever. Logins is next up. A 2 multi-login, and then this is just what you pick one of these characters to send you a letter, which obviously there's probably going to be a different, the letter's going to be differently written from each character, and it's going to give you a multi of Jades and 10 fuel. And then we got our events, and then we got triple relics, Relics of Planar Ornament drops, so triple scam relics because the rates still suck. This event, this seal event is fine though. This is fine. And then this is a rerun of a event that hasn't been around in a while. So it's not looking good. But what I want to talk about most is this. The claiming of free Runmei or Luocha. How they marketed this was so fucking predatory. Like it had people really thinking that they had to choose between one of these two. Because the issue is Tribi has fully solidified that Runmei is officially power crept. Because Tribi is now that one harmony unit that works for every team imaginable. And Tribi power creeps Robin too, along with that. So it's and Sparkle, she power creeps every harmony unit in existence already. So what's really the point of this? And it's like, and an extra Eidolon, if you already have Runmei, is not really gonna do much to change it. Luocha, this character is from 1.1. It's like, yes, he may have a couple uses, but he's still outclassed in this healing meta. Like, it's just not gonna cut it. But how they market it is like you're just gonna get to choose one of the two. But how it actually works is that there's going to be a shop. So when you get after you get an E6 of a character, if you pull that character again on a banner, they will drop this resource called Silver Companion Experience. Well, let me go to it. Let me make sure. Yeah. Yeah. So if you pull an Access Island, you will get a Silver Companion Spirit. If you get 2 Silver Companion Experiences, you can exchange it for 1 Golden Companion Spirit. And this is what they're going to be giving you in the mail, which you can use to select one of these two or one of the current standard banner characters or 2 variable dice. So what they marketed as a free of specifically one of these two is actually one resource that you can use to get one of these two, or one of these 7 standard banner characters, or 2 variable dice, or just wait till a later point in the shop when more characters are added and use it then. Like, that was predatory as fuck. Next up, the character warp optimization. Yeah, new characters are not getting added to the standard pool, but they're giving you a tiny option to change what you can lose the 50-50 to on limited character banners. So Seele, Blade, and Fushuen, along with the 7 standard banner characters, are now the true options to what you can lose to. But the thing is, they kept the cap at 7 characters. So between these 10, you have to choose 7 that you would rather lose the 50-50 to on a limited character banner. All the other banners, nah, like, nah, it's like you won't. So standard banner, you won't be able to get these 3 at all. And then because those 5 characters are basically now essentially free in some way, there's gonna be 5-star light cones for all 5 of these units. And to get the resource, one will be in Battle Pass for free, another if you pay for Battle Pass, and then for getting a set amount of Onieric shards, which is the biggest nail in the coffin with this that I'll have to go over. Like, if I can find it somewhere, like, where did they post? Because they posted it all within. No, they posted it right here. Where they go over packs. So, obviously, BOGO refresh. That's fine. That's normal. And then probably a cheap little, maybe this might be like a $1 pack or $2 USD. Most likely $1. Lasting all the way until from April 9th all the way to May 20th. This probably anywhere between $3 and maybe $7. You log in for 5 days, you get 320 Onieric shards, 4 limited summons, and 10 fuels. And then this is where it gets horrendous. The cherished recollection. It's like, I get adding a top-up event, but this is the most predatory top-up event I have ever seen in any game. Because you see this cap right here? It says 25,000 Onieric shards. And this is just for 3.2. Having that many shards for a limited and not a permanent top-up rewards list is some of the most psychotic money-hungry shit I've seen. Like, even EA, Activision, Nintendo would be like, yo, take notes. So let's see, at only 300 shards. Which, let me pull up the shop real quick for this. $300 shards is $5. So if you spend $5, you get 150 Tears of Dreams. Just a little bump of extra resources for your talents. That's fine. 2,000. We're looking at closer to $30. Big jump from the first requirement. You get 2 self-modeling resins. Like, not starting to not seem worth it. And then 4,000, you get the other resource for your relics. But then it's like you're going into like 55, about like $55, $60 for this. And then this is where the 4 Litecoin memory shards come from. So basically, they're saying it's going to cost $100 to get an extra Litecoin. But it's like, usually top-up events would cap off at $100 and have a lot better rewards than this. But no, it goes even further. 12,000. So basically about $150 for 2 variable days on top of that. And then about 220 to 240. I'm doing mental math in my head for a golden companion spirit. So spending a character's worth to get another character that's outdated. And then if you spend a whopping 300 and well plus 1,000, so about like a whopping 310 US dollars, you get an exclusive display set. Like this would be fine if it was a permanent thing for specifically this reward that you got the big bucks. But for an anniversary, that is the most predatory shit I have ever fucking seen in my entire life. Like they are truly milking every last dollar that they could possibly get off of this. This is just all this stuff in text for what I just reviewed in terms of the money. And then next up, when it comes to just more character related things, they're finally buffing characters. But we gotta wait till 3.4. Silverwolf, Blade, Kafka, and Jing Liu getting buffs in 3.4. And then a brand new limited 5-star character will be gifted to all Trailblazers this year. Pretty vague, but it's like, you really can't complain about a free limited 5-star again, because at first it was ratio, now they're giving it another one, but this part is fine, but they're really waiting a long while to get these buffs in. It's like, this doesn't help that you basically ruined people's perception of you back in 2.6, and then it's lasting all the way into 3.2. And not only that, it's gonna last till 3.8 because there's going to be another quest in Penacony to fill up the missing narrative threads and Penacony's Trailblaze missions, which goes over the Celeron Hunters, the IPC, the Masked Fools, and other factions and what they are doing during this crisis. It's like, I get if there are plot holes, but it's like, they're dedicating an entire update to fix this. Like, realistically, that's just not a good look. That's about as far as you could take it. It's just not a good look that you're dedicating a whole update to fix it. And that's basically about everything that stacks up. And not only that, there's my personal issues that I've had with the game. Wait, that's one thing in there. This skins that they took this long to put in something that we've been asking for, and they're like, fine. This skin was in a game more than a year. During 1.4. And then they recently decided to give it. That's one thing. Two, relics they're some of the most abysmal gear grinding system that I've had to ever deal with. It's like, these stats, you would not guess this would be on a E6 S5 Acheron. Like, I spent the entirety of like about 8 months trying to get a proper set, and I'm doing less than some people's E6 S1s. All because a matter of luck. Like, I've dealt with this once. well, the relics are a little mixed, but it took 7 months to build Sele originally. It was like how I played this game is like I don't even bother mint maxing characters because there's literally it's just wasted effort. That was probably the biggest thing. And then there's obviously stuff like the Hoyo rates of 0.6. That stuff sucks. And then how they tell stories with all the black screens, the lack of animated cutscenes integrated into the story and in game, and not just unrelated things that are put on YouTube. And then the HP of enemies just consistently getting larger, which just puts false power creep into this game. It's truly fucking horrendous what they come to. Where it's like they went to their love child of HI3. And then the biggest project in Gacha at the time, Genshin Impact. Let's see what they could do with a AAA budget. And then it slowly turned into an experiment of let's see what happens when we slowly but surely piss off every player in our player base over a very long extended period of time, but give the bare minimum to somehow keep players consistently on the game. Star Rail seemed like some form of hope that the teams work very differently and are not just like all being run by the same white collar top dogs in Helio. Well, that turned out to be unfortunately false because the white collars are deciding everything. It doesn't matter that all the games have different teams because it was fine, but then things started to slowly like drop down in quality, and then we got this massive spike down. Zenless has been fine, but the fact that in recent times it's like the two previous games are on like massive downfalls. It's like, and it already doesn't help that people call Zenless one of the Gooner games of Gacha. It's people have an eagle eye. Where it's like if Zenless fucks up once, it's actually dang near done for. If it repeats any of the cycle that the previous two games have been through. So, yeah, Hoyo is dang near cooked as a company. And what I'm going to do is use the last of my resources. And by resources, only just pulls. Because I don't want anything else to do with this gun. At least use it. There's a Miday, cool, it would have been there. But, goodbye. E6, S5. Acheron, goodbye. Honkai. Star Rail. No, I'm not even closing it properly. Fuck that shit. Alt F4. The stalling is over. No, where the fuck? Open directory. Where is this at? Where the frick is the thing at? Oh, they don't want me to uninstall. There's an easier way to do this. Let's see if I can go through settings. This is gonna take a while. I may have to do a cut. And I'm a dumbass. It was literally in basic information. It's time. Are you sure you want to install the game? Of course I do. I'm done. No more Star Rail. Zenless, I will keep an eagle eye on, as I always have. Not because people call it a Gunner game, but because I don't want this game that's actually kind of pushing just like the design aspect of Gacha to just fall off like these, like Genshin and Starter Lab. Fuck this game. Fuck them white collars at Oyo. I got more important shit to do. It was like, by the time this is up, I'm probably gonna be live on Twitch playing some AI limit. So that link's in the description. My Discord's in the description. I want y'all to also to uninstall this game, at least because y'all can't keep letting a company do this. So I'm out of here. Peace. Oh yeah, and one more thing before I go. Now that that weight is off my shoulders, there's a couple of changes that will be happening in this channel. First off, I glaze HI3 so much, but I don't make enough content on it. That is going to change very soon. Second off, a game that I initially dropped is going to get a second chance. So stay prepared for that. Well, if that, I'm actually out now. Fuck Star Rail. Peace out.